Panamericana Television, sometimes shortened to Panamericana and formerly known as PanTel, is a Peruvian television network, which was founded on July 21, 1957 and had later begun its official broadcast on October 16, 1959. Panamericana Television. Type: Broadcast Television Network. Country: Peru. Programming: Picture Format: 1080i HDTV. Ownership: Owner: Telespectra SAC, Global Corporation and Consulting SAC. Key people: Ernesto Schutz-Freund, Chairman. Leonardo Bigot, General Manager. History: Founded July 21, 1957, 64 years ago. Launched October 16, 1959, 62 years ago. Founder: Gennaro Delgado Brandt. Links: Website: www.panamericana.p. Availability: Terrestrial, Analog VHF, Channel 5 Lima, listings may vary. Digital VHF, Channel 5.1, Lima, listings may vary. History: Early years. The family of Gennaro Delgado Brandt had owned radio stations in Peru since 1937. In 1953, Delgado Brandt founded Empresa Radiodifusora Panamericana S.A. Pan American Radio Broadcasting Company, whose primary station was Radio Panamericana. Three of Delgado Brandt's kids, Gennaro, Hector and Manuel, became part of the family business. In 1956, Gennaro Delgado Parker began to study the possibility of starting a television station to cover Lima. Traveling to the United States, Mexico and Cuba to see the latest in television technology, and to bring it to his home country, Delgado Parker enlisted the help of Don Isaac Lindley, owner of the Inca Kola bottling plant and financial backer for the new station, and Cuban television magnate Goa Mestre, who offered him technical expertise as well as a relationship with CBS in the United States. In 1957, they established a television station called Panamericana Televisión S.A., and a production company called Producciones Panamericana S.A. The station had first begun its test broadcast on July 21, 1959, and then, later than 2 years, it began its official broadcasts on October 16, 1959, when OBXY TV Channel 13 took to the air for the first time. The launch program was hosted by Spanish actress Carmen Sevilla, while the new TV station drew on Radio Panamericana's brand by using the same ID music. In 1963, Gennaro and Hector Delgado Parker, in association with Johnny E. Lindley, founded Radio Programas del Perú, a radio network, of which Manuel, the youngest of the three sons, was named manager. RPP would grow to be the largest radio station operator in the country. In 1965, Panamericana Television moved from Channel 13 to Channel 5, taking on the call sign OAY4A and improving signal reach and reception. Soon after, Panamericana had assembled a repeater network, with 5 affiliate stations and 60 retransmitters to serve the rest of Peru. The early years also saw Panamericana define itself as the market leader. News programs such as El Panamericano, hosted by Humberto Martinez Morosini and Ernesto Garcia Calderon among others, became highly rated, while telenovelas such as Simplemente Maria and Natasha found success in the Latin American market. In 1966, the variety show Trampolina La Fama, hosted by converted radio personality Augusto Ferrando, would be launched, staying on the air for 30 years and becoming one of the most popular programs in the country. 1970s and 1980s. The 1970s began with military dictatorship. On November 9, 1971, the state took over all television stations. The next day, Peru's President Juan Velasco Alvarado decreed the expropriation of 51% of all television stations and 25% of all radio stations. Gennaro Delgado Parker did not accept these terms. He fled to Buenos Aires with his family, living there until the late 1970s. While in Argentina, he bought Buenos Aires station LS86 TV, and while he hoped to use both the station and his connections to Mestre to build a successful television center producing programs for the Spanish-speaking world, signal quality problems there as well as the arrival of Argentina's own military dictatorship impeded his efforts, ending with his Argentine ventures expropriation in 1976. The Delgado Parker family would not return to Peru until 1978. Back in Peru, the station came under the management of military government entities such as OCI and later Telecentro, which also operated competitor America Television on Channel 4. The major development of the Telecentro era was a new newscast, 24 Horas Peru, which launched in 1973, soon supplanting El Panamericano as the station's flagship news program and becoming Peru's most watched newscast. In 1978, preparations began for the switch to color. Experimental transmissions included complete color for the 1978 FIFA World Cup, using the NTSC system. Color would be adopted across the network by May 1980, coinciding with the completion of a microwave link that consolidated Panamericana's programming across the country. On July 28, 1980, democratically elected President Fernando Belaúnde Terry returned Panamericana to Genaro and Hector Delgado Parker. Slowly, programming changes began, such as the first morning program in the country, Buenos Dias, Peru, launched in 1981, and the relaunch of its drama productions unit in 1983. In 1981, Panamericana also bought the Coliseo Amuta, a 20,000-seat venue in Lima that would be used as a site to host large events and even to film various programs. Through the economic instability of the presidency of Alan Garcia Perez, Panamericana continued to grow. In 1987, Gisela Valcasol, then a dancer on the program Risas y Salsas, got her own program, Allo Gisela, which would last 5 years and be the first of many in a successful television career. In 1989, Panamericana upgraded from a microwave link to a satellite one, while the Lindley family sold its remaining stake in the station to the Delgado Parker family, leading to a reorganization of the various holdings of the group. With these changes, Genaro Delgado Parker reduced his role, remaining only as the largest shareholder in the new holding company, Del Parque S.A., and leaving Hector and Manuel in charge. In September 1989, Hector became wrapped up in a lengthy police case against the Tupac Amaru revolutionary movement, leaving Manuel in charge. Meanwhile, Genaro was founding Tele2000 S.A.A., which would become the first cell phone company in Peru. 1990s. The 1990s began with the creation of one of Panamericana's most successful programs, the children's show Nubeluz, hosted by Almendra Gomelsky and Monica Santa Maria. Nubeluz would remain on the air until 1996, a success on the international market. However, it saw a serious ratings decline when Santa Maria died in 1994. The ratings decline plus the cancellation of the program El Bal de la Felicidad and resulting debts, triggered by the insolvency of the company that provided the prizes, caused some financial problems for Panamericana. On top of that, some personalities switched channels, causing Panamericana to fall from its customary first place in the ratings. In 1995, Panamericana produced the telenovela Canela, the first to be produced completely outside of Lima, in this case, in Arequipa. In 1997, Ernesto Schutz Landesveri, the father of one of Manuel's children-in-law, acquired the majority of the stake in Grupo Pan-Tel S.A. He poured investments into Panamericana, helping it return to first place and continue its national productions. On February 1, 1999, Augusto Ferrando, host of Trampolin a la Fama, died at the age of 80, a sad note on which Panamericana would end the 1990s. 2000-2004, the long shadow of crisis. The new millennium, however, would not be much better at the outset. In the ratings, Panamericana would be number 1 from 2000-2003, mostly thanks to imports from Brazil's TV Globo, Colombia's Yo Soy Betty, La Far and the national production Mil Oficios. However, the crisis set in with the discovery of the Vladovideos in 2001, videos showing Vladimiro Montesinos bribing important political and business leaders. Gennaro Delgado Parker was caught looking for the government's support to finish the sale of Tele2 Mill to American firm Bell South, while Schutz was seen receiving bribes to support the re-election of Alberto Fujimori. Gennaro went before a judge, where the Supreme Court ruled that he could not be tried due to his advanced age, while Schutz publicly denied any manipulation of Panamericana's editorial line. Schutz immediately fled the country, driving to Chile and being arrested to Argentina, where Peru hoped to begin an extradition process. Schutz then gave his shares in various businesses to his son, Ernesto Schutz-Freund. Meanwhile, after paying bail in Argentina, Schutz received house arrest, which was enough to send him to Switzerland, a country where he had citizenship and could not be extradited. Gennaro Delgado Parker asked that he be named judicial administrator of Panamericana, and he succeeded, taking control on February 24, 2003. On July 11 of that year, the low point of the crisis came. Schutz's administrators had received a writ of protection, which they perceived gave them the ability to take control of the primary facilities of the station, La Esquina de la Televisión, Television Corner. The result was a massive brawl, in which fire extinguishers were used as weapons, desks and chairs were thrown, and yellow paint was splattered throughout the facilities. 1 week later, Panamericana's license was revoked for a week, putting the station off air for the first time in its history and for a full 8 days. Eventually, a new equilibrium came about. Delgado Parker's administration took control of the Lima signal and the newsroom, while the Schutz administration would operate the main facilities and the repeater stations, dividing Panamericana in two. After 11 months, the Superior and Supreme Courts ruled in favor of Delgado Parker and evicted Schutz-Freund from the main building, which was remodeled. On October 28, 2004, the divided Panamericana network was reconnected, launching with new equipment and a new logo. 2004-2008 Parker's channel once more. While Gennaro Delgado Parker had won the latest round of legal wars, poor management left Panamericana in budgetary shortfalls. Among the creditors of the network were its workers and the Peruvian state. The budget issues constrained Panamericana's ability to acquire new series, and its own productions mostly fell flat in the ratings. One of the few successes was the 2008 program Bailando por un Sueño, Dancing for a Dream, featuring Gisela Valcárcel. By 2008, labor officials were threatening the network over a debt of 490,000 nuevos soles owed to its employees. 2008-2009, the second crisis. On December 18, 2008, a new round of uncertainty faced Panamericana, as a judge approved a resolution that stripped Gennaro Delgado Parker of the network. A cautionary measure remained in place to keep him at the position for several more months. Legal tangles were joined by action from SUNAT, the Peruvian tax agency, which in April put the physical and intellectual property of Panamericana up for auction. This auction, however, did not meet with any potential suitors. In May, Delgado Parker was forced out when the cautionary measure was lifted. On Delgado Parker's final day at Panamericana, May 31, 2009, he surprisingly announced that he had accepted an offer from SUNAT that declared it insolvent and handed it over to its creditors. After the announcement, Panamericana employees insulted Parker and threw eggs at him as he left the headquarters. On June 1, 2009, SUNAT took control of Panamericana Television, and it designated Alberto Cabello as financial administrator. He was to spend the next 6 months evaluating the financial and legal status of the business. However, this decision had serious consequences. Peruvian law does not have such a concept, and as SUNAT is a government agency, Panamericana had passed into government control, a potentially dangerous precedent. On June 3, Cabello resigned, sparking legal chaos. Rumors began to fly, with potential outcomes including the shutdown of the network and a sale to Universidad San Martín de Porres. Panamericana employees met that night and declared in a resolution that they had taken control of the network and would continue normal programming. On June 8, judges awarded Panamericana to Ernesto Schutz-Freund. Immediately, programming stopped and was replaced with Popeye cartoons while the workers were forced out to conduct an inventory of the property in the building. For another month, all commercials were replaced with footage of Peruvian landscapes until a new logo and programming were ready for air. The insolvency process ended on October 16, 2009, Panamericana's 50th anniversary, and in February 2010 Panamericana entered voluntary insolvency programs to pay off debts incurred during the judicial administration of the mid-2000s. 2009 present, a new Panamericana. Panamericana has since seen many changes and improvements. While new programs have been launched, they have not fared well in the ratings. On the other hand, technological improvements have been made, such as the acquisition of new transmitters and equipment and the 2012 launch of an ISDBT high-definition digital television signal on IF channel 26. 2018 present, Panamericana. With the Schutz administration taking over Panamericana Television, the ratings have risen compared to the last few years. According to their viewer statistics, it is more popular than what it was in their most successful years of broadcasting. This is mainly because of Panamericana Panorama, a new news program on Sundays that receives millions of viewers. References. Panamericana Televisión se declara en insolvencia. El Comercio. June 1, 2009. External links. Official site, in Spanish. Panamericana Television National Anthem. Has transmitted National Anthem of Peru.